specifically focus on YouTube. And the reason is because YouTube has so many valuable tools that as a channel, it's just a really great way to engage learners. How many of you have used a YouTube video inside your classes? Maybe I should say how many of you haven't. A lot? Okay, Steve says a lot anytime. Okay, so everybody says that. Okay, well, maybe I can teach you something new today. And since many of you use YouTube already, why do you use YouTube to teach your subject or to train? And if you teach English, especially, why do you think for English or learning a language in general, YouTube is a really great tool? One of the things that I think while we're writing these is that language is very communicative. And so it's really great for students to be able to see others, especially native speakers, non-native speakers, use English in different contexts. And video is so powerful for that. But also, as Ken Sever pointed out, it also appeals to the various different types of skills that we need to teach in the classroom. Listening skills, speaking skills, writing skills even, because we can make this a part of a response to YouTube video. So we do get a lot of the types of skills that we generally wouldn't be able to bring into the classroom. Also, the culture, very good, Steve, that's a wonderful reason. You can see various cultures and things like that. Another reason is because using YouTube especially, students seem to be very familiar with this. This is one way that they really enjoy learning. It just makes something, if you're having a lesson, and especially when it's, you know, many teachers tend to have a lot of teacher talk time, and showing a video is a really great way to decrease the teacher talk time. Yes, and Zuka, it's very good for teaching vocabulary, and yes, increasing motivation. Another reason is because it appeals to all ages. This is my young learners class, and they're watching a video right now. They're learning how to sing a song and how to learn the hand movements and things like that. Look how they just are glued and paid attention. When I used to teach my young learners how to sing a song and do the hand movements, when I did it for a reason, they just were wild and crazy and would run around. But then when I would show them the wiggles, for example, doing It's Raining, It's Pouring, The Old Man Is Starting, they would really just be glued. It was a great way to manage the classroom. They really loved it. Another reason are these statistics. Can you tell me what you think these are? These are all related to YouTube. And this is something that I found actually. There are 2 billion views of YouTube a day. 15 minutes is the average time that a YouTube viewer will look at a video. It appeals in 22 different countries in 24 different languages. And it does have different ways in YouTube, the features that are free. You can actually change the language. You can look at the different types of captions and things like that in different various languages. So for a majority of our learners, they will watch a 15-minute YouTube a day. So that brings so much potential for motivating them if we use YouTube, for example, for tasks and homework outside, that if they're short ones, like maybe 2 minutes to 5 minutes, that out of the 15 minutes, they're going to watch one that we propose. So it's actually a really great way to have and motivate learners to actually study English and practice English outside of the classroom. So you can see the potential with the amazing numbers of YouTube, and hopefully you can see more potential afterwards, after this. But I want to get to the good part on how to use YouTube, because these may not be things that you're familiar with. But one of the best ways to use YouTube and to make sure that it's pedagogically sound is to go to sites and blogs that really specialize in using YouTube. One of them is by Jamie Ketty. How many of you have heard this one? Lessonstream.org. It's a free website. You go to lessonstream.org, and Jamie Kenny, he lists here, this is what it looks like. You can find it on language levels, learner type, main activity. You get a PDF, and the PDF will give you a whole entire lesson. Now, you didn't have to do any work, the majority of the work, so if you're running out of ideas and things like that, then what you can do is just go to the site, or if you run out of time, then this takes maybe 5-10 minutes to search and find a fantastic lesson. And because Jamie Kenny is really a great speaker, and he's really wonderful. He wrote a book. Oh, thank you for sharing that. He really has some great ideas. For example, he'll have a YouTube video, and then he'll have you do a predictive exercise, such as pause the video in the middle and ask the students, okay, so what do you think is going to happen next? Well, that's a really great way to use YouTube. So he finds very innovative ways to use YouTube that you may have not thought of, even ones where it's silent and different things like that. Another really great site is TESOLcourses.com, and this is by Sue Lyon Jones. And the way she has it in this website is that she actually gives activities to the students. So there are quizzes. For example, she's showing you here Groundhog Day. And then what she does is, with the YouTube videos, she has this questions. So it's different things that they have to find when they watch the video. How would you use this differently than maybe one that Jamie Kenny has a lesson plan for? So these aren't the entire lesson plans, but something that you might do in the classroom that I have done with this website is that I have played the video first, and usually I tend to pick very short videos because we don't spend the whole entire class watching videos, so that's one thing we have to make sure about. And then after that, we'll go through the questions, and then as a class and as a group, we try to answer the questions, and then we go back to the different points and parts to figure out who's right. We do like a polling system, and that works really well in my class. And then we also have discussion questions that I bring up if the students don't bring up. Another one that I forgot to list, but is a really good one, is the Global English site. That has many YouTube videos as well with some great lesson plans. And I'll put that in the chat box later. But one of the more effective ways that you can use YouTube with any subject is to create your own channel. And this is something that I do with my students. Now, you can see that I have this as part of my own YouTube account. Now, you can, if you have a Google account, or Facebook account even, I believe, you can create a YouTube account for free. Even without one, you can create one for free. But you can sign up automatically using your Google account is one great thing about it. You decide what it looks like. So these are mine. This is everything that I put here is mine. I chose the colors. I even put on the sidebar. So you can decorate it the way you want. You choose how you want your YouTube channels to look like. So this is my playlist. I have about 20 different channels, 20 different playlists. Now, when you create your own YouTube channel, how many of you have created a YouTube channel or have a YouTube account? Okay, great. That's fantastic. So maybe you can answer this question. For each of my 20 channels that has about 20 to 40 videos, what do I create all these videos? Because that's an important question. It's on your to-do list. Because that would mean 20 times, let's see, at least 20 videos in each channel. That would be about 400. No, I don't. I don't create all these videos. I create some of these videos, but I don't create all of them because under each YouTube video, you're allowed to put add to playlist. So people who have already created videos, you can add to the playlist. And I'll go back later if we have some time and I'll show you what my YouTube video looks like. Now, some of these are mixed in with my own interests. So for example, you can see pug videos. This is because I have a pug, and so this is something I like. But one of the great things is that I can also just direct my students to the actual channel. So I have idioms, and this is what it looks like, the channel. These are the videos that are in my idioms. You can see here, I have one with Steve Ford Peppy, and he's wonderful. And these are the ones that I've decided to have with my students. See, and they're all in a playlist, and this is what it looks like. And this is the URL. So this is the private URL I can give them, and it'll automatically go to this channel that I have already set up for them. So this is all that I need to do. And then they'll automatically come to this, and they won't see the rest of the stuff inside my channel. So I think creating a YouTube channel is really great. You can create one for business English. I've created one for idioms. I've created one for American versus British English. And you can find videos and just add them to your playlist. Oh, okay, so I'll show you afterwards. It's probably better if I show it to you afterwards on how to add any video on YouTube to your playlist and how to create a channel. So first you have to set up the account, and then after you set up the account, then you can begin creating your own playlist. And you can name your channel as well. Yes, exactly. You have different playlists on your channel. That's a very good question, Ola. So yes, you have different playlists on your channel. And you can have many, many, many different playlists. I have like 20. Then after that, you can embed it in the wiki or blog. And I like this because then I like to create tasks with my students. This is my adult wiki with my students. I have the dogenglish.wikispaces.com. And this is one thing. We did a business one on building rapport. You can see the topic right there. Then this is one of the things I put. I said for the next class, we will talk about building rapport, which is important for business English. This is the YouTube video that I embedded because you get embed codes. So you can easily put it in the wiki, which is a free website for educators that allows you to embed YouTube videos and other cool stuff. And then I give them tasks at the end right below. What are the 2 ways Bob says we can build rapport? And then I give them the transcript that they're supposed to read, the link to the transcript. Answer this gap fill while listening to the video, okay? So these are some tasks, and this is the way that I prepare them for the next lesson. Then I gave them another video as well. And with this one, I use tubechop.com, and I'll show you what that tool is later towards the end. So this is a really great way to get specific tasks and also to get your students prepared for a lesson, or maybe to review things after a lesson as well. I like to use screen tutorials as well. So what I will often do, I have one called Video Tutorials, a playlist. And what I do is I actually screencast how to do their homework. And then they're able to look at, I'm able to embed this in the video. You can see right here, it's a YouTube video. And then they can go and I give them the task on what they need to do. But I said that it's not specific to any age group. So because it's not specific to any age group, I use it with my young learners as well. This is the Wiggles one. And this is the wiki for my young learners. We did parts of the body. And the way that the young learners are able to do this is 4 to 10 years old, is that I'm able to have the parents get together with the child and able to watch this. And the reason I started doing this actually was because one of my parents said, I would really like to know how to do the different types of chants and songs that you have inside your English lessons. So I would like to be able to know how to do this. Well, I wanted to give them the words, but even more important was the gestures and hand movements, because that's what the kids love to do. And sometimes the kids, when they would show their parents, they wouldn't remember all of them. So what I did was I embedded the YouTube video, and since they love the Wiggles, they'll watch it because they just love it. So I embedded it here. You can see the YouTube video. And then I give them different tasks. I tell the parents what we read. click here to walk your pet dog, but it does with parts of the body. Learn about the parts of the body with Bert and Ernie. And then I have sing head, shoulders, knees, and toes with your child. Below is a great video to get you started. So this is one way that I use it with young learners. And the really great part of it is because you can engage the parents, and this is what it looks like. The parents are at home, and the kids, they're engaged, and they're really excited to be there. And they're really excited to practice English outside the class in their home. So now I'm going to show you some YouTube tools that I think are really great, that I like to use. Okay, so sometimes you get these YouTube videos and they're really great, but they're not made for language learners, or they're not made for your specific age group. And they can be too wordy sometimes. And sometimes I just don't like to show all the YouTube video because I only want 2 minutes or something. I use TubeChop, and then you can Google all these and you'll automatically get them. And there's also Splice, but I really like TubeChop. TubeChop will let me chop a video and just use 2 minutes, 30 seconds, whatever I want of that specific video. And then I can, it gives me an embed code so that way I can embed it in the wiki. And you saw that, excuse me, you saw that a little bit earlier. Let me see if I can go back and show you actually where you saw that. Okay, so this is an example of a TubeChop. You can see this video right here. It says at the very bottom, TubeChop, and that's what it looks like. So I only played a part of the video, and so I think it's really, really useful for that. So we'll go back. But Splice does the same thing. I just prefer TubeChop. Quiet Tube. Okay, so one of the problems with YouTube that a lot of teachers say is when you get onto YouTube, you see all these comments, and the comments aren't monitored or filtered. So you want to be able to show a YouTube video, but you don't want to show all the comments or maybe the advertisements or something that could be kind of iffy in class. So you can either download it, and yes, there are tools to download your YouTube videos, and you can use this. I use download YouTube from Firefox. There's different types of things like that that you can use that are part of your browser. But QuietTube, if you put the video, you just have to put the link. You got to give it some time, and then it'll just play it in a blank website with none of the comments. Is QuietTube. There's another one as well. If you think of that website, please feel free to put that where it takes away the comments inside the chat box, or any tube that you anything that you think of. ViewPure is another one that'll let you do this as well. Another thing that I really, really, really like to do is, let's see, is if you do the YouTube user scripts. Now these are actual scripts of different types of YouTube videos, and of course you always want the scripts, especially when you're teaching English, so that way you can manipulate them, you can do, you know, gap fills, activities, and things like that. So that's a quick way to do it, is you can go to user scripts, and you'll see a bunch of scripts to perform several tasks with YouTube as well. Overstream, Lindsay Cranfield, who's also part of that global website I was telling you about earlier that has a great YouTube lesson plan, uses this a lot. What it allows you to do is it allows your students to write in their own type of script for YouTube. So for example, you'll have a YouTube video that you're playing, and let's say you should do it in a foreign language. So you may want to do it in, like, for example, something that they would never talk. So for my German students, I might use Chinese because they're not going to know the Chinese. So I use a Chinese video where they're speaking Chinese, and then the captions on the bottom, they have to put in, and they have to decide what the characters are saying. So it ends up being very fun for the kids and for adults as well, because they get to make popular movies and stuff like that say whatever they want them to say. So it's a lot of fun, and it's great to see the conversations they come up with. That.com, YouTube. This one, let's see, I'm forgetting what this one does. Well, okay, I'll go back to that one later. But I believe that that one is, oh, okay. This is actually, that.com is a chat. It's a chat room that you go to for YouTube. And then you have the YouTube video, and right under it, the students can chat about the YouTube video. They can leave their comments and they can talk to each other about it at dat.com. So you can have your students go in this chat room. It's a public chat room, so they have to speak with other people as well. So you may want to test it out first, or use it at a time, a weird time, so that way in your classrooms, because you can't do your own private chat room. But it's really great because if you have a student go there, then you can have them look at it from YouTube, and then they all kind of comment on it and talk to each other in real time. So it's really, really cool. YouCube is 3D YouTube. So you can actually take a whole bunch of YouTube videos and it makes it into this 3D cube, and it's you can do as many as you want. And then TubePopper.com. This one is really fantastic because it has different types of ways that students can put speech bubbles on the YouTube and they can annotate it. Okay, I'll show you these in just a second. Actually, we're almost finished, so that way I can show you these. Another great thing is if your students, like my adult students, especially when I teach business English, they have smartphones. So since they have smartphones, you get YouTube as a free app. And the great thing is that they can carry this on the go. And while I encourage them while they're sitting in the S-Bahn or our metro system here, to go ahead and look at the videos. You can make video cast, or you can just put, this is what the playlist looks like. So this is the playlist for the British English versus American English. And they just go to the playlist because it's already there and you've already given it to them. And then they can just go to any of them, of the videos that you have assigned. And while they're waiting in a line or a queue, while they're doing something where they just need to wait, then they can check out the video that you asked them to do. So I'm going to do one, idioms about love. And then they press it, and there it goes. It'll play for them right away. See, so this is one thing that I really like to get my students to do. And you can do that best if you have a YouTube. So this is my information. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start screen sharing. So I will have later up in the week, I hope, under the technologyforkids.pdworks.com. That's where I share all the resources. But I haven't exactly created this page yet. So, so we'll have to wait for that. But let me go ahead and show you some of these tools that I talked about so you can see them. So let's see. I'm going to share my screen. Now I won't see you, so you'll have to talk in the chat box so that you can tell me whether or not you can see these. Okay, so we talked about YouTube Popper, and this is what this one looks like. So you can get any of the YouTube, and then you can add, hopefully you can see this. You can see it now? Oh, okay, great. Okay, so I picked one that didn't work. This is the one where you can add this speech bubble. Now these are just random ones that I picked from students. Oh, it's not working very well. Okay, well let me show you Overstream because that one is really cool. Here we go. Okay, so let's see, let's do, okay, so this is one where they have English subtitles, but this is actually in Czech. Now the students would make this type of video. They get to type in whatever they want to be the subtitles. So you can see it into different language. And the good thing is they can do this. Okay, so you can see it here. I'm highlighting it. There's no way back. That's what the student typed in. And then they typed in, do you remember how it was childhood wonderful? So this is what the actual student has typed in. They can do popular movies that you that are in different languages and stuff. And they can put in anything that they want as what the character is saying. So here it's a music video, but it could be different characters as well. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you what my YouTube channel looks like. And I made a specific URL. So if you want to go to my YouTube, it's youtube.com, Shelly Terrell. And this is my YouTube channel. Now I have education stuff related on there. So this is what it looks like when you get there. And like I said, I designed everything on my YouTube channel. I can put my name. I can even decide what's the featured video, things like that. And then what I do is I have playlists. So click on playlist and we'll see the grid view. And here I go. You see the idioms. I created a channel for idioms. So I'm going to click on this channel. And these are all the idioms that you can see. Now, what I can do is I'm going to go to idioms. And I'm going to do idioms about, let's see, what kind of idioms should we do? Animals? Okay, so I'll do animals. Because I want to show you how this works, making a playlist. Okay, so let's do this one. Leopard can't change his spots. That looks like a kind of good one for me. Okay, so let's say that I like this video, and this is what I want my learners to see. So what I would do is I just go here to add to. It gives me all my playlists. And I just go to idioms, which has 19 videos. I clicked it, and automatically it's saved to my playlist. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my playlist channel. Okay, so I'm going to go back to idioms now. Here's my idioms channel. And at the very bottom, there it is, Learn English Idioms, Leopard Can't. So I just saved that to my YouTube channel. Another really great one that I like, when you're on YouTube, if you do make your own videos, oh, and when the students click on it, they automatically go to your channel. Okay, so I'm going to show you something else YouTube does that's really, really cool. You can actually, if you make your own videos or you have your students, better yet, make their own videos, you can do multiple choice. So for example, this one, and it'll click onto another video. So at the very end of this video, let's see here. Yeah, this is totally educational. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, let's see, that's not cool. They show you a really good example of that. Okay, so this is one, this is not, this is one that I would use for safety with students. But with this particular one, I'm muting it right now. You see what happens, they talk and things like that. The students themselves, they can look up the different captions and stuff like that. But towards the end, look what this video does. This video will give them a choice. And if you make your own video, you can do this.
A, just keep trying. You never know. B, tell my friends to get lost. C, send her pics of my junk. Maybe she'll return the favor.
Okay, so you decide. And when the student clicks any of these options, they are led to a different video that's related to the other video.
Tell my friends to get lost.
And then it tells you what to do. So when you're working with your students, you can get them to connect their videos together. And that's one feature I like a lot. I used it with my 30 Goals Challenge, but I think it's really cool is that they're able to do like a choose your own adventure kind of thing, which is really, really neat. Let's see. The other thing that I can show you is the tube chop, and then after that, I'll let you go. And that should be tubechop.com. Okay, so let's say, let me go back to YouTube really quick. Let's say that we have this YouTube channel, right? And we have a video. Let's say the video on idioms. So let me go ahead and go back and go to idioms. Okay, now we'll just use this one. And let's say that I don't want to use the entire video because look, this video is 9 minutes and 50 seconds. So all I do is I copy the URL, and then I go to TubeChop, I just enter the URL, or I can even search for something. But then it shows the video, and then I get to do the timeline and choose where I want this video to start and where I want it to end.
Sorry, I was just thinking about the joke.
Then I click chop it. So let's say I chose that, and when I click chop it, it gives me a new embed code. And then I can embed that inside my wiki, and this will only be 2 minutes. Yes, you can cut the middle. So it's really useful for that. Yes, but what you can do, let's say if you want different types of them together, then what you would have to do is you would have to chop it a couple of times, and then you could just add it in the wiki. So they could see part 1, part 2, part 3, if you wanted to do that way. It won't let you like chop part of it and then add, like maybe if you wanted to chop like the last 30 seconds. It won't let you kind of do like chopping the beginning and then the end cut out and then chop and then put the ending together with the beginning. It won't let you do that, unfortunately. But those are just some of the ways and some of the ways that you can use these different tools. So I'm going to stop sharing. So hopefully you found some different ways. Would anybody like to share, for example, any way that they use YouTube that maybe that I didn't share with you today? Because there's so many ways that you can do it with and use it. Thank you. And did anybody by any chance have a good website they would like to share, anything like that? You're more than welcome to go on video. All you have to do, or just talk on the audio. Everyone should have audio. So if you would like to, all you got to do is go to the very, very top and click the audio icon, and then you can ask your question out loud, or you can make a comment out loud if you would like. But one of the best ways to use YouTube, of course, is to have your students make their own videos and then to have them put it up on YouTube, if they're allowed, and if they're comfortable with it. They may not be very, very comfortable with it, but sometimes if you ask, you never know. Or you can make your own. I sometimes make my own. There's even more. There's actually a really cool site called TubeFight, and you can put 2 YouTube videos next to each other, and then that you think relate to each other, and then you can make comments about them. A lot of the students like to do that. For example, one of them I've seen do Lady Gaga versus a chicken, and then they have Lady Gaga singing and a chicken. I mean, so teenagers love that kind of thing, you know? So there's so many YouTube types of tools out there. I mean, there's just tons and tons. Yes, yes. I think we can hear you. You just have to
Okay.
talk. Okay, we hear you.
Is it for me? Hello?
So is that you? Yes, so that's you talking. Would you like to say something?
Yeah, I don't know. Is my voice clear or? Okay, I will type. I will type. I will type my question. Okay, I think that using YouTube is very useful, fruitful in the classroom, and I usually try to use it with my classroom for teaching lots of things. For example, for warming up activities and pronunciation. But sometimes I feel that some YouTube videos are so exaggerating, especially in pronunciation. For example, how you pronounce the ed ending of the verbs. Um, I don't know. Yeah, yeah, pronunciation is very important and great. But as I told you that, for example, for using YouTube for pronouncing the ed ending, sometimes I feel that they are exaggerating.
Well, that's a good point. And yeah,
And
I think
another point that how can we use? Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Sheila.
I was gonna say, you can continue. I was gonna say the tube shop works really well for that.
Another point
Also,
that I want to say that how can we use how? Okay, how can we use YouTube for teaching a college students or university students really? Um, how can we use it in the classroom? Because if I want to use YouTube or whatever, Facebook or any social net, I think that we need that the classroom should be, uh, furnished with and equipped with internet access, for example. But imagine that I wanna teach syntax or semantics or pragmatics. Academic pure academic courses. Um, well, actually, I will for myself. I will find a lot of problems that using songs, for example, or using drama or using storytelling for teaching such pure academic um, courses. So how can you help on this?
that's a good question.
Yes.
I think that so next we'll give the mic to Ola, but I think the scripts work really well for that. So you can find like YouTube videos with scripts, and then if you don't have access to YouTube at the school, like they block it, those YouTube download sites work really well. I use YouTube Downloader. That's an add-on. I'll write that down on Firefox, and in Google Chrome and other browsers, you can use that as an add-on, YouTube downloader, and they're free. And then take it, oh, okay, and then Steve just shared savevid.com. And then you can go ahead and you can download it, and then you can have your transcripts available for the students, and you can make different types of activities that way for the students. It depends too. If you have, of course, if you have like your classroom setup where all of them have their own individual laptops, then you can have them do different tasks and things like that, with the transcript itself, or get into pairs, and maybe they can do something like role play. Maybe you can turn off the sounds if it's like a different, if it's two people talking, and then you can have them predict what each person is saying just by looking at the video and not having any sound, just muting it. And then afterwards show them the conversation or the transcript of the conversation and see how it compared what they thought was happening in the situation by using the context clues and things like that versus what the real transcript was. So I think that would be a really good one for college kids in university level, and also show them things, different things like that. So does anybody else have any other ideas? Or, okay, you have keepvideo.com, Zamzar. Oh, those are great ideas. Well, no, and you can go to places like thelessonstreams.org, and it has a lot of great ideas, and it'll tell you which age group. It'll say university level and things like that. So it even has already prepared lesson plans, and so you don't have to take all the legwork. And these are really good quality lesson plans on lessonstreams.org. And even in the Global English site, they have really great lesson plans that are really pedagogically sound and things like that. Yeah, and they have lessons on that as well, the different types of songs. So Cancer, that's a really good one. Yeah, maybe you can. You can take the mic now. So just go to the very top and click the microphone, and it'll turn green, and you can talk. Oh, that's a great one, Steve. Describe a scene to students, make a few mistakes, and get students to watch and identify the mistakes. Yeah, there's no prep at all. So Cancer, just click on the green mic, and then it should let you talk. At the very, very top of the screen, you'll see Adobe Connect, and then you'll see TESOL Classroom. There you go. And just click it once. And
Well, actually, I think that I agree with this activity, Shirley.
okay, so okay, sorry, I didn't have the mic on. Ola, did you want to take the mic and say something?
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for that. I don't know so much how to use microphone. Sorry for that. Now, am I clear now? Can you hear me now? Can I go on?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can hear you.
I use YouTube to teach vocabulary. For example, I use some songs. For example, lastly I used the song Yesterday by Beatles. Before the class I record two versions, two video clips of the song, the same song, one with lyrics and one without lyrics. And I also give my students the handouts of the lyrics of the songs on a handout, but I delete some words, and then I want my students to listen to the song and also watch the video without lyrics and try to find the lacking words, the vocabulary in the song, and then I show the other video with lyrics, and they can check it by watching the song by two different versions, one with lyrics and the other without lyrics. I use it at university level with adults over 18 years old. And sometimes I ask my students to choose a song, and then that will be more interesting for them, more funnier for them. Of course, absolutely, they enjoy this a lot. While especially it's good for, you know, musical intelligence. While they are listening to the song, they also learn vocabulary when they how to say, when they hear the lacking word and they would be able to find the word, they feel successful, and they say, okay, I did, and such things. And it's a kind of competition. While one group says, okay, we found 3 words, and the other group says, okay, we find all of them, and such things.
Thank you so much. That's a great activity, and I think the really great part that you do is also that you get them to choose it.
Thank you very much.
And that's a very good point that you raised, that it makes it more interesting for the students. I think, you know, if they have some choice of which videos they get to watch, definitely. So that's a fantastic activity. Thank you for sharing that, because that's a really good activity. Ola, did you want to say something before we go?
Hi Shelly, how are you? How are you all? Okay, I think you can hear me. Okay, so very quick. My question is, I want to do a video YouTube channel with my students, and I want to shoot plays that we do in class. For example, we have to choose a play and then they perform a play. And for example, half an hour or 45 minutes or even an hour. So I don't know which plays I can choose, and my students are young learners. They are in primary stage, but they have intermediate and above intermediate English. And so I'm wondering if you guys have any suggestions about the plays that I can choose with my...
That's a very good question. That's a tough one too. So I think what you could do is you could go to kids plays and see which ones on YouTube are on there that might be popular. I've seen one. I want to say that I've seen one that goes along with the Hungry Caterpillar one. And that one's, this is the book, The Hungry Caterpillar by Eric Carle. I've even seen a play, so we can search for these on the YouTube channel to see the kids doing this play, and then you can probably find the transcripts and things like that. But this one's really good. And then there's one by, I believe it's Joyce Dunbar is what I want to say. And that one should be the Gruffalo. I believe there's a play for that as well, or any of her stuff. She does one about witches that's really good. A Witch and a Cat. What is it? Room with a Broom. I think Room on the Broom. That's what it's called. And I believe that there might even be another one. There are, of course, the popular ones. You'll find Little Red Riding Hood. Any of the fairy tales. You'll find, like, for example, Rumpelstiltskin. Okay, good. Yes, Brown Bear. That's a really good one too. There's the Bear Hunt We're Going on a Bear Hunt by Michael Rosen. And this one, they do have this on YouTube. This is a very short play, actually, where the whole class gets to go on a bear hunt. So hopefully that helps. Does anybody else have any ideas? Well, then, thank you so much for joining me today. Yes, there are. Actually, what I can do is I can give you the wiki for that. And then I can add that to the wiki because we did one actually on drama. And on the wiki, the one that I have right here, you can find pretty much in any of the resources from the past webinars. Oh, no, that was a very good question. So let me go ahead and never be sorry for taking the mic. Never, ever, ever. Okay, so here we go. This is the one that I did for drama. And this one has a lot of great places where you can find, you know, different websites and things like that with drama for young learners and drama with adult learners. And you should be able to find plays. There should be a website around there for using drama. There are blogs. There are some resources by Carol Reed. And there's definitely different types of how to animate stories, where to find scripts, how to do role play, so a bunch of things there. The other thing that I want to share with you real quick before we go is you can find all the recordings of these webinars on one channel, and let me go ahead and give you the link to that. And then you'll even see the ones that you missed. I try to do a wiki with all of them, but sometimes I can't to finish all the wikis. But here's the website, and I will see you next Friday. So have a great, great, great weekend. And thank you so much for the participation. I really like the ideas, and I love the questions, and I love the way that you all helped each other with ideas as well. So thank you.